Oh, thank fuck. That was awful. Oh, I could not enjoy a moment of that level. I'm so glad it's over. Was I recording for that? Yes. Thank God I never have to touch this again. That is one of my least favorite things I've ever played. The whole level. There's just tons of moments, and they are like little tiny things in the level where you're just like, what were you thinking? And yes, it's an ancient level at this point, right? Like, yeah, of course it's not going to be up to today's standards, but like, there's some stuff in this that's just so unbelievably like, why? The mirror portals at the end just don't need to be there. I think everyone's kind of in agreement that those are completely pointless. They don't add anything to the level. They're artificial difficulty. They make 2 of the clicks in the level really, really annoying for no reason, right? Just take the first step, get rid of those. Not needed. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, what is it? I have to show this one off. Hold on. Let's calculate attempts. 1518. Let's calculate attempts, and then I have to show you something in the editor because it's this bad. 997. That'd be 2515. Okay. Oh, nope, not plus. That should be equals 2513. And then there's some old attempts from a very old copy roll I had, whatever. So I have to show you this. What? Like, what is this? What is that? Why would you do that? Like, so you're flying as a mini ship, and then you become the robot, and you have to jump. But if you jump too early, you're mini, so you get a really small jump, and then you're down here at the bottom of the yellow portal. Or vice versa, you jump really late and you're big, so you jump really high and you like barely make it into this portal. So the ideal timing is right as you become big, but the portal itself is invisible, so you don't know when that is. It's like just stuff like that. Like, what were you thinking? And like, I'm sure originally this was probably like right on here, and then it got moved off, because if it was here, then you'd become big while you're in this spike gap, and that would be like not fair, right? So this is better than the alternative, but still, this could have been fixed. This could have been changed, right? Like, that's inexcusable. That's terrible. This robot's not great. This micro click is awful. I actually had to click before the orb by a little bit, so that as I'm about to let go, I get the orb, and then I let go before I hit the block. Because yes, you can time it late and do a micro click where you hit the orb late and then let go before the block, but it was actually more consistent to hit before the orb, and then the end of my click would just barely clip the orb, and that worked. I never died to this microclick from 0, but in practice, it was just a roll of the dice. I mean, there was nothing I could do to get it consistent, really. I had to try to aim early, but sometimes because I'm aiming early, I would miss the orb entirely. It was terrible. It was awful. It was so just like, why? The rest of this cube's fine. The beginning of this cube's fine. This UFO has like 3 things in it that don't make sense. This click is so unbelievably difficult. It's just like, it doesn't look it in the editor, but it's so precise, and it's entirely based on how you hit this, which is entirely based on how you do these jumps here, which is entirely based on, right, just like this whole UFO, really, this whole UFO is just a big question mark in my mind. Like, what were you doing? Why? What? This ship, here we go, biggest offender. This ship is fine if it's in a level about 3 times harder than this. This ship never got consistent, never made any sense. Easily the hardest part of the level for me. I could not get it down, and it was just like the worst. I mean, it was truly awful for me playing this from 0 and just dying to this over and over for reasons that felt completely out of my control. And some of that's a skill issue. Some of that is just, this should not be in this level. It should not be here, at least. It should not be this hard. It's just so poorly balanced. This ball, this double click was just weird. You can do a spacebar input. I really didn't want to have my hand on the spacebar, so I just like did a real fast, and I think you heard it, double click, which usually worked and sometimes didn't. There's some other things in that ball that are questionable. This wave was whatever. Once you got it down, it was fine. And the beginning ship was whatever. It's fine once you got it down. And the end was really fun. I really enjoyed everything after the wave. Basically, I enjoyed this wave part to the end. Like, really thoroughly enjoyed it. It was like, wow, that's really good. Why was that so much better than, like, everything else in this level, which was so questionable in every way? I don't know, but there you go. I beat the trilogy. Wow, I have no idea why this got like thrown up as the 3rd part of the trilogy, because it does not deserve any kind of legendary status at all. It's such an average 1.9 level. It's the most like typical 1.9 demon you've ever seen. There's really nothing special about it. I didn't find it overly fun or interesting. It looks like Cataclysm 2. It should have had its own identity or some kind of interesting idea. I think the title of Aftermath would have been really cool to see, like Cataclysm and Bloodbath parts, but like degrading a bit or something. And like, yes, I'm reading too much into it for a shitty 1.9 level that got like spat out in like in a matter of like no time. They got verified by someone who had no standards because it was 1.9. Like, yes, I'm aware of that. But still, it would have been, there was so much potential for like a nice conclusion to the series, and this just feels so rushed and unsatisfying and nah. Just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, man. It's really not a fan. Really not a fan. But I beat it, so it's done. I never have to touch it again. Yay! Alright, I will cut the recording here now. Bye!